Man, I hate that I really can't connect this. You know what? I might try to, what if I grab a different speaker and see if this thing will connect to a different speaker instead of this thing here? Um, Let me see. Come on. Um, I'll be right back. Let me just see something. So I have a Bose speaker here.
Connected to iPhone.
No, because
To iPad.
iPhone is connected to that speaker, right? Bose, did you just Brody the fucking aux cord? So iPhone is confused as shit. This bitch ain't connected with nothing.
iPhone disconnected. Connected to iPad. Phone. Connected to iPhone.
No, bitch, my iPhone is not even option right now.
iPhone disconnected. Ready to pair.
You should see my iPhone, but I don't see the Bose speaker. What the hell? Why can't I? Here it is.
Connected to WL24027.
Well, I can get music and sound through the Bose speaker. get music and sound through the Bose speaker. I don't know why it will not connect to that speaker. My bad, guys. I really don't know why. I, all the functions work, but it will not. And now, for some reason, it doesn't even have an option for me to disconnect from this Bose speaker. Hello, can I disconnect from the speaker? No, it really doesn't have an option that says turn the speaker on. Hmm. I kind of see what the issue is, but I don't know how to fix that. Oh, did I just make that go away? Yeah. It's two different icons for the headset. So the PBX5 is that speaker right there. For some reason, it's reading as a headset microphone together. And the Bose Color Sound Link, which it played through just now, it doesn't have that microphone connection piece to the headset. So I guess it's the simple fact that PBX5 is reading something iffy with their microphone headset connection, because they're clearly two different icons. So I don't know how to get the one speaker to show up as a different format. Because it is definitely connected right now, but however it's reading that speaker format, it won't allow me. Hmm. Nope, I don't know how I can. Yeah, I don't know how I can change this headset. Hmm. Oh well, annoying, but there's nothing we can do about that, which is the weirdest thing.
It takes like 5 seconds to install, so honestly, just give it a try. Because who knows? This could be the last ad that you see. Are you having any fun? What you getting out of living? Who cares for what you've got if you're not having any?
Have you tried that cool new DeepSeek model that's going around? Yeah, you did. I have bad news for you. You're going to jail. Or at least that could be the case if this bill goes through. This from 44media.co. Senator Hawley proposes jail time for people who download DeepSeek. Your According to the language of the proposed bill, people who download AI models from China could face up to 20 years in jail, a $1 million fine, or both. So here's that actual bill, and yeah, it's kind of dystopian, it's kind of crazy. Now, of course, there may or may not be a bunch of changes before it passes. If it passes, it might not even get to that point, but it definitely feels like they're pulling out the big guns for stuff like this. Now, as you know, US and China are kind of in the middle of this competition for who gets to develop the best AI, who gets to build the AI infrastructure that the whole world will run on, basically. Will the world be running on US infrastructure and hardware and follow US laws and regulations, or will it be more under China's influence? And we've seen tons of things like this, the US Chip Export Act, right? So in order to not have any of the more powerful NVIDIA chips be exported to China, some of the higher and higher tier chips are banned. We've seen certain investments by foreign investment companies into US technology firms that have to do with AI. Those have been blocked or reversed. We've seen that before, including one that had Sam Altman behind it. I believe that was the Rain Neuromorphic Chip Company. But this is different because this is the first one, as far as I can tell, where you and I would be going to jail for interacting from these models. So as Senator Hawley posted on his website, he's saying every dollar and a gig of data that flows into Chinese AI are dollars and data that will ultimately be used against the United States. America cannot afford to empower our greatest adversary at the expense of our own strength. Ensuring American economic superiority means cutting China off from American ingenuity and halting the subsidization of CCP innovation. Hawley's statement explicitly says that he introduced the legislation because of the release of DeepSeek, an advanced AI model that's competitive with its American counterparts and which its developers claimed was made for a fraction of the cost and without access to as many and as advanced of chips, though these claims are unverified. Now, we've covered a lot of this before. At this point, we're pretty sure that the final run of that model, the training cost of it was
Supercharge your shining your toys and devices with Astound Gig Internet for $45 a month and a $100 gift card. Stream, browse, and connect with astounding service for all your new tech. Switch today.
Come see us on tour in Dallas, Austin, Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, New York, Atlantic City, Levittown, Cohoes, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for the link for the cheapest tickets. Trump has taken over the Treasury Department, or Elon Musk. Career Treasury officials are breaking the law every hour of every day by approving payments that are fraudulent or do not match the funding laws passed by Congress. This needs to stop now. So, this is that people are going nuts over this. I mean, the Treasury has not been rocked this hard since Goldfinger in 1964. I miss the old days when James Bond was just beginning to go bald. Remember those days? So Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, is going to take over the U.S. Treasury. So just as an experiment, rather than saying what could possibly go wrong, why not say what could possibly go right?
Right. He's not the richest man in the world. I don't know why people keep saying that.
But and the answer could be, what could go right is that he could find everybody skimming from us for their own benefit and toss them out. And I'm gonna guess, just off the top of my head, that Elon Musk has a pretty good set of accountants working for him. I'm just gonna guess.
Yeah.
So Robbie Starbuck says the highest ranking treasurer official, David A. LeBrick, is resigning. So the highest treasury official is resigning rather than complying with a request by Doge for access to audit where they've spent trillions of dollars a year.
Nothing suspect.
Why would career bureaucrats fear an audit by Elon Musk and Doge to see where we can save money?
Deep state, that's why. Deep state front, that's why.
That's right. Ellie Likes Data says, well, these are not illegal payments or money laundering. These are foster care, Head Start,
Child trafficking.
mental health clinics, and substance abuse prevention. Lutheran Community Services get contracted by the state to run these programs for them. He would be shutting down all social services.
Oh, we have such great social services. That's why I live in a hobo town in Austin, where I got threatened to shoot people in the face because they're gonna come in your yard and take your stuff. Because there's so much social programs.
So, less is oh yeah, because when it comes to mental health clinics,
What the hell are they talking?
You guys-
Ellie,
you guys
do you
are-
like data?
you're doing a bang up job. I mean, you're literally banging up America. But that's what Eli Likes Data says. Less than half, 18 of these programs are for refugees, and only for children and employment support. The other 24 of the awards are just the state funds that cover social services.
Yeah, they're doing a bang up job.
Bang up job.
You mean like the homeless problem in LA? They threw 23 billion at, now we can't find the billion and it's still homeless? That kind of.
Musk and Trump's extraordinary abuse of power to face legal challenges. That's what they're saying.
I think they got the blackmail files, so those legal challenges are gonna go down, just like the tariff bluff. I think that they took over something big, and now all these punks at watch, you're gonna hear all these, we're gonna stop them, and you're gonna see a fat chick sing a song about it, and it ain't going nowhere.
Elon Musk and President Donald Trump, in the name of cost cutting, are taking an axe to government agencies, including the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, General Services Administration, and the most recently, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Trump, now that's a good one. I like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, even though corrupt Elizabeth Warren is involved in that. It does a lot of good. Trump is clearly taking an expansive view of his power, but the courts will likely determine the end game. So they're trying to scare you that the guy who got elected to do the thing he's doing, that somehow that's scary. So
None of the things.
again, let's wait and see how it works out. Let's see if they end up cutting services that actually are needed. I'm sure we'll be aware of it and we'll protest it.
No, we're loud about it.
Yeah.
You have to understand, all these agencies that might have a nice sounding name to them has been infiltrated by corrupt psychopath dictator people, and they gotta be rooted out. That was real the whole time, and now they gotta pay. And so you're gonna see all this, but what about the USAID? What about all the good they do? No, it doesn't matter what system we got until we root out the lizard people. Got it?
And whatever you do, don't cancel the grants to artists who take a shit on canvas and display it at an art gallery for one of idiots to pretend they understand what's going on.
Hunter Biden, his name is
Hunter Biden. So here's this Jamie Raskin, who's just a swamp creature, with very little parallels. And here's what he has to say about it.
You may have illegally seized power over the financial payment systems of the United States Department of Treasury, but you don't control the money of the American people. The United States Congress does that. Under Article 1 of the Constitution.
And you've been doing a horrible job about it.
And just like the president who is elected to something cannot impound the money of the people, we don't have a fourth branch of government called Elon Musk. And that's going to become...
Do you see how much they don't want oversight and people looking through the books? That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
But vaccines.
That's right.
Take away vaccines. No, I just want to look at your books. How
No.
would that take away the vaccines? No, you can't. You're trying to take away vaccines.
So Elon Musk vows to cancel grants after gaining access to U.S. Treasury system. System disperses trillions of dollars in U.S. government each year, including Social Security. But wait, I'm not talking about. So they're trying to make you think he's going to cut Social Security. Maybe he's gonna. But we'll know. I guess let's let this see what happens.
Also, I think Trump's in charge of Elon and not the other way
That's
around.
not the other way.
Trump's
Exactly
not
right.
for cutting Social Security. Make us scared to protect the other CIA fronts.
Elon Musk, and so when Elon Musk talked about this before, him and Vivek on Twitter, we ripped him for it, for trying to cut Social Security.
And he walked it back.
And he walked it back. Elon Musk has vowed to unilaterally cancel hundreds of millions of dollars worth of government grants after apparently gaining access to review the U.S. Treasury's vast payment system, a move that prompted the sudden resignation of one of the department's most senior officials.
And where's that senior official going to go next?
Good riddance.
Guilty. That means you did something.
Good riddance.
Guilty.
the world's richest man. See how they always write this? They always try to couch this in the most negative way. Who bankrolled?
You don't get to know who the most richest man is. Everybody's saying that about Elon. You would never know the name of the most richest man. You get to, you don't.
But I
get
love
to.
how they say this. They go,
Yeah.
the world's richest man who bankrolled Donald Trump's re-election campaign. So what? So let's say Kamala Harris ran it. Would you say Reid Hoffman, who one of the richest men in the world, who bankrolled Kamala Harris's campaign? You never said that. You never said that about Joe Biden, George Soros, who bankrolled. You never said any of that.
Don't even bring up Soros.
The only time this is a problem now is when a disruptor got elected. That's the only time this is a problem.
Right. Trump won in a landslide, so no one's mad at Elon for bankrolling him. You losers.
So Musk is tasked by the president with running the cost-cutting Department of Government Efficiency. Posted on his social media site Twitter that he was rapidly shutting down illegal payments after a list of grants to Lutheran organizations was posted online. And Lutheran, by the way, Lutheran organizations are about as close to Martin Luther as the Klan is to Jesus Christ. But anyway,
Yeah, right.
I don't know that for sure, but that's a good joke. The threat came after Musk appeared to confirm on Saturday that Doge had access to the Treasury system, which disperses trillions of dollars in payments, including Social Security payments. He justified the move by claiming his team discovered that payment approval officers at Treasury were instructed always to approve payments, even to known fraudulent or terrorist groups. So that's why these people they didn't want to give them the keys to the. That's what this is.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna scare people with Social Security like they did with all the other things? These scumbags have been stealing the money. America's more corrupt than Ukraine. Just so everybody knows, Ukraine, the most corrupt country in Europe, has nothing on America. And I don't think they can openly say the level of depravity these scumbags were doing, because they're afraid people will drag them in the streets. So they're gonna just cut funding and stuff. But this stuff's coming out. I think it is coming out. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch moron Hollywood friends of mine have to accept it.
Hey husbands, Valentine's Day is coming, and if you found the love of your life, get her this. It comes in a heart-stopping red rose surprise box, and on the inside there's another.
I, for one, would be much more comfortable, Kurt, knowing that we are paying the terrorists, so that way we can threaten to fire the terrorists if they piss us off.
Yeah. Wait, we've been funding terrorists? Does Israel know, our best friend?
The system has been run by career civil servants.
Yeah.
And the Treasury already had an in-house team. Already. Oh, there already isn't any fraud? Really? They already have an in-house team tasked with identifying fraud. They already have this.
Yeah, I bet.
So then why would you be afraid of someone else taking a look at your already looked over stuff?
Because you did a great job.
Because you did a great
Why do
job.
you want someone to look?
It's like Bill Gates saying we don't want to have a vaccine commission. Why? What would you find out? That vaccines are safe and effective, right? And everybody would have more confidence in the vaccine. Why would you be afraid to look into vaccines? If all they're gonna find out, why would you be afraid to have
But they're
someone look
great.
into your accounting if it's already been looked into and it's all on the
Yeah.
up and up?
Oh, because of fascism or something. Oh, because Trump is... No, he won an election. Everybody wants him to do this to you, you scum.
A source
Everyone.
with knowledge of the situation, Kurt, said that Doge
Joe,
representatives did
good
not
morning.
have the authority to actually cut payments,
Feeling a lot better
only
this
to
morning.
read the data. So they don't
Well,
even.
read it to me.
So they're afraid that they're just going to read the data and someone's going to find out.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
A lot more will get cut than payments if we find out what you did, right, punks?
Senator Ron Wyden, the top-ranking Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee, has said his office has been told the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent had granted Doge full access to the system.
Oh, so it's like my cell phone that they all have full access to whenever they want.
Social
Yeah.
Security and Medicare benefits grants, payments to government contractors, including those that compete directly with Musk's own companies. All of it, he said.
Good.
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 He has written to Bessent demanding answers on Musk's access, saying, I can think of no good reason why political operators who have demonstrated a blatant disregard for the law would need access to these sensitive mission-critical systems. Well, if he doesn't have the ability to cut the payment, you just don't want anybody to see. So that just
Hey.
goes to show you how crooked this whole government... You think your government isn't crooked?
Let's remember what we were told when we found out they spy on us. If you
Yeah.
got nothing to hide, you
That's
got nothing
right.
to fear.
Musk's comments came after David Labrick, who had spent more than 36 years
Lock
doing
him up.
doing corrupt stuff inside the government. That's my editorial. And had briefly run the Treasury while Bessent was awaiting confirmation, resigned
Yeah, flee
abruptly.
the country too, scumbag.
Labrick was responsible for overseeing the operation of the department's financial
Lock him up.
infrastructure. Lock him up.
Lock him up.
The extent of Doge's access to the payment system appeared to be laid
Yeah,
bare
this
on
shit getting
Sunday
wild,
by Musk,
yo.
who responded to a post on Twitter that contained a spreadsheet
All this information
showing
coming out
payments
is
to a
getting
number of
wild,
Lutheran
boy.
charities. The spreadsheet was posted by Mike Flynn, Trump's former national security advisor, who was pardoned in 2020 after pleading guilty to lying about his contacts with Russians because he was entrapped.
Those charities, I'm gonna bet right now, whatever you want, that those charities traffic kids. Because as soon as I hear Mike Flynn come up, who was deeply involved, and yeah, that's a trafficking thing. I promise you.
So here's what General Mike Flynn said. Now it's the Lutheran faith. The use of religion as a money laundering operation must end. Lutheran Family Services and affiliated organizations receive massive amounts of taxpayer dollars, and the numbers speak for themselves. These funds total billions of American taxpayer dollars. Here are just a few of the recent grants awarded pre-Robert Kennedy Jr. by the Department of Health and Human Services, Luther Immigration and Refugee Services,
Child trafficking.
$367 million. Lutheran Social Services of the South, Inc.,
Drug trafficking.
$134 million. Lutheran Services Florida, $82 million.
That's both trafficking humans and drugs.
There are many more organizations cashing in on our hard-earned money. These entities are receiving huge sums, which raise serious questions about how taxpayer funds are being spent and who's benefiting. It's time to hold these organizations accountable. American taxpayers deserve transparency. Enough is enough. And there is much more where these screenshots below came from.
Oh,
And
they're about to release a lot of information.
Yeah.
That's what this
And
means.
so
'cause I know
there's-
what Flynn's
there's-
involved in.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of payments. 75 million, 2 million, 76 million, 23 million, 140 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you find out adrenochrome's real?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think the Lutherans believe that it is much better to receive than to give. In,
Well, a bunch
in
of
case
people
you were
are
thinking
religion-
that one religion had the corner on greed, that's all.
Yeah, think of all the people writing stupid stuff about the Jews in the comments. And
Yeah.
did you know the Lutherans do this? Your religion's bad too, everyone.
Must-
They're all in on it.
Musk responded saying the Doge team is rapidly shutting down these illegal payments. It is unclear whether the billionaire, who has yet to take an official role within government, would have the legal authority to do so.
Oh man, no wonder Bill Clinton was staring death at Joe
No
Rogan.
wonder.
Yeah, he's going to withdrawals, that guy.
Isn't it weird to think? Well, we have to see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
To me, I like it that things are being disrupted, and all the worst people in the world are afraid right now.
It's great. It's
I
actually
like
great.
that. I like that.
Well, let's all enjoy it until, the Jesuit wing of the deep state takes over, which won't be good. But until then, let's all laugh together at these scumbags getting what they deserve.
Come see us on tour in Dallas, Austin, Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, New York, Atlantic City, Levittown, Cohoes, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for the link for the cheapest tickets.
This is getting wild, getting wild, getting wild. And so I got some not so hot Trump haters on my page. And so I just posted basically something like from the Doge thing, like where all the savings you paid for it, but not anymore breaking. This morning the White House releases more projects that you paid for with U.S. aid. 7.9 million to teach Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gender language. 20 million for a new Sesame Street show in Iraq. 4.5 plus million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. Come on, man. This all this. This is bunch of bullshit. 2.2 million to promote inclusion in Vietnam. Get the fuck out of here, bro. And so I posted this, and then one of my Facebook friends was like, "Hey, with all these savings, we should have universal health care!" Exclamation, exclamation. And I'm like, facts. That's the part I'm looking for. Exactly how will all this money be reallocated? This is a lot of savings. What are you guys gonna do with it? I'm right there with you on that one, bro. I'm right there with you on that one, my guy. Wait, which, okay. So, we finding all this extra money. What we gonna do with it? Like, where are we gonna put the monies at? That we saving them is the question. Okay, this group chat is blowing up right now because we're working from home today, and everybody is texting me, thinking I'ma do some work today. Oh my God, guys. Okay. And that's not the thing. Hey, working from home today. And they keep on texting me while answering my email. Working from home today. And they keep on texting me. I'ma put the group chat on silent and moving and writing and Put the group chat on silent, gonna make me some coffee and roll me some salad green. And they keep on texting me. Oh, they keep on texting me. Cause I'm working from home today. So they keep on texting me. I won't answer my email. So they keep on texting me. I'ma have to silence this damn group chat. I'm trying to paint, I'm really trying to relax. They're trying to get me to do work. They know I ain't gonna do no work. Oh, working from home today. And they keep on texting me. Oh, working from home today. And they keep on texting me. Cause I won't answer my email, so they keep on texting me. Oh, working from home today. Working from home today. And they keep on texting me. Whoa, whoa, they keep on texting me. Oh, I'm working from home today. And they keep on texting me. 'Cause I won't answer my email, so they keep on texting me. I'ma have to silence the group chat. I'm just trying to paint and relax. I'm working from home today. And they keep on texting me. I won't answer my email. I won't pick up my work phone. Working from home today, and they keep on texting me. Oh, working from home today, and they keep on texting me. I won't answer my emails, so they keep on texting me. The group chat, oh, these niggas keep texting me. I'm telling you, bro. Lord of mercy. Am I gonna silence this thing? It ain't nothing important. I swear to God. I swear to God, they ain't saying nothing important in this text. Eight messages. Look. Oh my god.
Tonight's not just another night. You've got the all-new Caesars Palace online casino. Hundreds
You get that gamble online at
Back
home.
to the coolest channel on YouTube. Look, bring it in. Smash that like button. Let's get this video right here to like 20,000 likes. You already know how we do over here, man. Positive vibes only. Just know if you're going through a tough time, we're going through this thing called life together. So you never end it by yourself. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel because 60% of the people that watch this channel still aren't subscribed. But look, one day we will reach that million subscriber mark probably this year. And I do appreciate y'all. But look, man, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. You're adults. You make up your own mind for what you want to believe.
Going on in the skies, airlines and pilots are on high alert due to GPS spoofing, a new form of electronic warfare messing with navigation systems. Over 1,100 flights a day are now facing fake GPS signals that can confuse cockpit systems and put pilots on edge. Pilots report everything from clocks resetting to false pull-up commands, all while flying through some of the world's busiest air corridors. Although there haven't been any major incidents so far, the risks are rising. Airlines and regulators are scrambling to find fixes before something serious happens.
Disappear. See everything, but you just see the plane getting lower and lower. Then yesterday it was the planes like, damn, what's going on?
aviation expert, and he was saying that angle, Jason, and it came down so.
If you look up, if you look over there right now, I'm coming out the gym, you see cars that wasn't even close to the plane. That's caught fire. They're completely done. You can't see. I showed you the pictures. It's messed up, man.
And to see
Houses on fire. They trying to put it out there. You see kids running out. It's not right, man. And then, I don't know if this was purposely done or not, but what I do know, man, to be honest, I don't think nobody's safe. I think everybody needs to protect themselves by any means possible. And like, what can we do? What can we do? If it's happening now, what can we do? Like, we had no control over that. Can't nobody expect that. You cannot see that coming.
Oh, let's go ahead and lock this in. So before I even go to bed, because I just got the road, I need to go ahead and talk about this. This lady right here, she's dead right now, deceased. I'm gonna tell you why. She came across a semi-truck and she was a little curious. It was unsupervised, so she opened it up. What she finds in it costed her life. Check out this video.
Full of children's bodies. I mean, this is horrible. The horrifying incident took place at a gas station in Michoacan, Mexico, where the woman worked inspecting semi-trucks. But on this day, this specific truck pulled in and something seemed very off about the driver. He was very nervous, tense, and sweating profusely. The woman noticed that the truck's back door was slightly open, so she decided to take a look. She slowly opened the door and immediately burst into tears. Inside were hundreds of children's bodies piled on top of each other like food. She also saw a lot of blood on the floor, and that's when she noticed black plastic bags, and when she took a closer look, she noticed they were stuffed with severed limbs. They were filled with small arms, legs, and even heads. This video was taken shortly after, and she is seen gasping for air and can barely even stand up. And what's even more horrifying, just days after this video surfaced, this woman was found chopped up in a suitcase left in a parking lot. And next to her remains was a message saying, "This is what happens when you saw what you shouldn't have."
What's going on?
Hell nah. Already, man. This is crazy.
Almost just died, boys.
It's on TikTok at some point, so I'm gonna get my little share of sharing in right now. But another plane just fucking went down. And I turn this around, yeah. Another plane just went down Roosevelt Mall. It's a Macy's right there on Continental Boulevard. So they're blocking this shit off. All right, y'all are going to
Time, I would advise everyone to stop taking planes.
Yo,
Something is
dead
not
ass,
right.
yo.
Something is definitely
I'm not
wrong.
trying to fly right
Or if
now,
you
man.
decide to get on a plane, make sure you pray to whoever or whatever you believe in. Because I'm telling y'all, it's a 50-50 chance that something might happen at this point in time. Shit been happening back to back to back. If it's not a plane crash, it's the engine failing or it's an emergency landing. Something is going on. Y'all, take a look at this. Another incident.
Breaking news out of Houston, Texas, after a United airplane caught fire at Bush's airport right there. It did have to be evacuated. So far, no reports of any injuries, but I want to share some video that's coming into our studio. Take a listen.
How is it on fire, y'all? What is going on? I'm telling y'all, it's wicked.
About the mystery of crashing planes in 2025. In Simpsons, Lisa stumbles upon a hidden document while visiting an abandoned airport hangar. The paper suggests a monopoly scheme by major airlines. Their profits are sinking as smaller airlines gain popularity, with cheaper tickets and better services. To stay on top, the big companies allegedly conspire to cause chaos in the skies, shutting down competitors. The townspeople, terrified by the constant news of crashes, stop flying altogether. Marge decides their summer vacation plans need to involve anywhere reachable by car, and Homer suggests to building a boat. Meanwhile, Bart sells fake crash-proof helmets at school, capitalizing on the chaos. With the town buzzing in fear, Lisa tries to warn the authorities, but no one listens. The episode hinted on more crashes in 2025 unless the monopoly is exposed. What do you think of this prediction? Why are all these planes crashing? Did the Simpsons prediction about disease?
Do y'all know, like, the comments down below, if it was one airline that was, like, behind the chaos, who would it be? I'm not gonna say shit on here, but, I mean, let me know in the comments down below.
By the Simpsons, they predicted that a disease will spread.
Since everybody's so brave.
Spread in 2025 through water. It all begins on a hot day when families at Springfield's biggest water park. Kids notice their skin feels itchy after swimming. People get red spots after playing in the water. The water feels weirdly warm and has tiny bubbles. Everyone who goes in the pool feels super tired. Even the lifeguards start feeling sick. The disease spreads fast. Wet swimsuits carry the sickness home. Rain helps the disease move to other towns. Water from drinking fountains makes people sick. Swimming pools everywhere become dangerous. Even washing hands can spread it to others. People get spots all over their skin. Then they feel better for a few days. People think they're getting well, but after 3 days, they get very sick again and eventually die. People become scared of taking showers. Stores run out of bottled water. Doctors work day and night to help people. Hospitals get too full. What do you think of this prediction? Telling
Now, all of them, that one right there, better not come true at all, for real, because we already got enough to deal with. Stinky, people already gonna be, you know what I'm saying, going to the afterlife, but then people already stink when they're not even supposed to stink. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I that don't need to spread right there, and that's not the way that we need to go out.
Started this movement against Kellogg's. It's gaining a lot of traction online. There's even a petition for Kellogg's to remove these food dyes that's gotten more than 450,000 signatures. Why are you doing this?
You know, I'm a father of two. I've been a professional investor for 26 years, and I created a food company with my family specifically so that we could tackle the health crisis. Despite the fact that we exercise more than ever, we're more technologically advanced than ever, we know more than we ever have. We have never been this sick across mental health, physical health, and fertility. Countries like Australia and countries like Canada, all in Europe and Japan and India, they have removed artificial food dyes, which are derived from petroleum and coal tar.
You know, they argue Americans have a choice. They can decide what they prefer. No one is forced to eat Kellogg's Fruit Loops. You say it's not so simple, though. Why so?
This is in many public institutions. This is in the military. These are in some public hospitals. These are in our schools. Many children and many people of lesser socioeconomic means don't actually have a choice the way some of us do.
What are we doing today?
I need to up my game. NJM puts the policyholders first, and people are noticing.
Say no more.
Nah, not quite right. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
When saying, oh, we don't have to eat, processed cereal.
Saying
hopefully none of y'all will ever have to go through something like that, man. You know, prayers, whatever you do to the people that are in your life, because this world is very unforgiving sometimes, and your life can change at a matter of a second. You know, so appreciate the people in your life. Real talk.
Have so many blacked out helicopters been reported by citizens lately all over the U.S. This one is in Plano, Texas, but other reports have been coming from all over, from California and many other states. Is there some type of exercise going on throughout America that we're just uninformed about? If you know anything, leave it in the comments. Unanswered Universe. Have you ever seen a handheld direct energy weapon, also known as a DEW? Well, take a look at this one. Most people believe that these weapons don't even exist. Leave your thoughts in the comments. This happened on the rural side of the lake where there's no electricity or no hookups. Many people in the original comments thought this was caused by a direct energy weapon. Take a look at it and tell me what could have caused this. Leave it in the comments. Have you ever seen this optical illusion phenomenon? This is called a snow sun pillar. Imagine calling the plumber because your toilet is backed up, and after they remove the toilet, this is what they find in your pipes. Take a look at this herd of cows.
But I tell you, like, that you can't make this up, right? But I don't think that snake would have made it. Like, if I would have had, like, my dad come over or something like that, eat a couple things, and he goes to the bathroom, I don't think that snake would have survived that, being down there in that drain like that. I'm telling you. Growing up, I'm sorry, Pops.
Found in Chile. They were found totally mutilated with no real signs of blunt trauma, like being pulled apart. The torsos are also pretty cleaned out. This does not show the characteristics of being eaten by another animal. Some of the locals have said it could be done by alien visitors from all the sightings that they've received. Here you have a downpour of rain in one specific location. If you look 5 yards past it, it's very dry. Is this a glitch in the matrix? A glitch in the weather? One cloud gone rogue? Take a look at this cat. Looks like this cat could be stuck in the matrix. Now, I've seen cats go into predator mode when they're chasing something down. I've seen them stay really stiff for long periods of time, but not with so much going on around them. This cat seems to be stuck. People are gathered around in amazement as this cat doesn't even blink an eye. What's going on here? Is this cat stuck in the matrix? Leave it in the comments.
This is crazy. My God, look at it. That's not a plane. That is wild. That's going way too fast. That's not.
Snap and grow. Wendy. Good morning, guys. Feeling a lot better this morning.
I had to go running and get my
But it is like,
nobody's gonna believe me.
I'm happy they canceled. Well, we got an email yesterday saying, oh, we probably close the building until 10 o'clock. And see how things go. But then it was like, nah, we're gonna close the building all day because it is like, it's a weird, it was some kind of weird, freakish, like ice storm last night. And yeah, that's all just ice. Not snow, it's like, it's ice. Yeah, that shit is crazy. So we're like, yeah, I don't think we're going. No, I don't need to come to work today, man. I'm gonna risk driving on some super icy ass highways and roads and all that shit. So yeah, I'm at home today. Listening to these conspiracy TikToks.
Look at this thing. Is he? Jesus Christ. This.
There's now been 5 plane crashes in the last 3 days.
That's
The first
crazy.
3 crashes were all on the same day, on January 29th, when a US Air Force F-35 crashed in Alaska, with the pilot ejecting to safety. On the same day, 19 people died in Sudan, when a Beechcraft 1900D crashed. And again on the same day, a Cessna Citation S-550 crashed in Venezuela, killing 3 people. The next day, on the 30th of January, a military Black Hawk helicopter collided into an American Airlines CRJ-700, killing 67 people. And last night was the 5th crash in 3 days, when a Learjet 55 crashed in Pennsylvania shortly after takeoff, when transporting a child who had just received treatment for a life-threatening condition. This has been a very tragic time for the aviation industry, and for the families of the victims in these tragic...
Give me back my name, give me back my calendar, give me my books of tea from Alexandra, give me my queen like Cleopatra, me no want to hear about Queen Victoria. Give me my language I know so well, you mix up English confusing no L. Give me back my maths, you Pythagoras, give me my symbols, you tea from us. Give me this, give me that, give me back me everything you got. Give me my diamond, give me my gold. Give me back me rock and roll. Give me uranium, give me coal. Give me reggae, give me blues. Give me music that you confuse. No spiritual concept originated here. So why praise? You shouldn't care. You say steal not, you thief me land, sex not, you rape my mother, keep the Sabbath, work 7 days a week, you build a nation from the sweat of my back. Now you want come give me crack. Give me my herbs, make me make some tea. Give me back all my fruit tree. Give me the remedy that make blind see. Give me everything that you take from me. Give me this, give me that. Give me back me everything you got. Give me a space I can run my own life. Respect is due, the time is now. No more turn cheek. This time we now bow.
So this video was posted an hour ago. It is the most insane drone and orb video that I've seen, because we finally have a video that shows the drones and an orb.
That's an old one though.
So that's an orb. People have been seeing taking videos and photos of either the orb by itself or the drone by itself, but we finally have both. So the theory is that the drones are the United States government's drones. It's our drones, but these orbs are the UAPs, or the anomaly that they're searching out. And the United States government isn't telling us why they have these drones out, because they don't want to tell us, oh yeah, hey, there's orbs floating around our atmosphere. We don't know. But watch what happens when they collide. It's absolutely nuts that she was actually able to get this on film. Just watch. It's checking it out, getting closer. And there's another drone watching on the bottom.
And commercial break. Fuck you, YouTube. Okay. You know what? My boss actually sent me so my supervisor's uncle is a curator of a local artist's art collection, the Waiso collection, miners, monks, music, and more. And he put together this little documentary about the collection that he curates.
My name is Steve Luchak. I am founding president and curator of the Waiso Foundation, and I am so very happy to be at Hazelton Art League's Coffee Talk today. It's a wonderful exhibition, and it's something that everyone should take advantage of seeing while it's here.
Does it get any louder?
Has anybody been familiar with Waiso? And there is a reason. And we're going to explore Frank from when he was a child until his death, and then beyond his death. So let's begin. Frank Waiso was born in 1915 and died in 1994. And he was a very interesting person. He was a loner. He never had a job, never owned a car, never had a relationship. He lived with his mom and in earlier years, brothers and sisters in the homestead in northeastern Pennsylvania. He had a 7th grade education. And in the
Well, why
7th
isn't this
grade,
connecting
he
now?
was encouraged to leave because at that point he was 17. But even during his early formative years, when he was supposed to be doing traditional schooling, he always had this innate talent to draw. And if you know northeastern Pennsylvania, one of the biggest venues for holidays was decorating the storefront windows, decorating your school windows. And so that's where Frank spent time. Not in school, but the teachers would send him out to decorate. And that's where he was most happy. This is Frank in his later years. We actually have that sculpture. And he had a very interesting life. Frank had 2 things in life, his entire life. No patience and no money. But as you can see, what did he do with that no patience and no money? He discovered early on that he could go around to the women in the neighborhood. And he had a large family. There were 12 in his, there were 9 in mine. And when you have families that size, you have a lot of broken crayons. So as a result, you see all of these are broken crayons, melted. Remember doing that technique, that school ground technique where you would melt all different colors on a board, different layers of color, and the last layer would be black. And then you would take your pin and you would scrape it away. Wiseau took that to the greatest form. He would layer the wax and he would take his pocket knife and scrape away to reveal the figure and form under it. And then later on, he would go in and maybe come in with a little ink or watercolor or pen and ink or pen, whatever he needed to do to pull out that form. And we're going to talk about sculptures, but we're going to save that for a little bit.
The text messages again, jeez.
This was Frank's family. As you can see, it was a large family. Here's Frank and his brothers and sisters. And what had happened during the Depression era is the 4 eldest brothers and Frank, the 4 eldest brothers were sent to an orphanage in Philadelphia, and the orphanage's task was to create priests. Frank was sent to the CCC. He ended up out in California, and unfortunately when his father died, and by the time word got, this is, in the 30s, when the word got out to California, he tried to get home for his father's funeral. Sadly, he missed it. But he didn't make it home. And so these are really the leading instruments in Frank's life. His 4 brothers, all fathers. We have left to right, Father Walter, Father Demetrius, Father Constantine, and Father John. They gave guidance to Frank his entire life. Remember, he didn't work. He would walk around town. As you could see, he was quite the character with the bandola and the mustache and the hats, and probably got white cowboy boots there. But he walked everywhere in town, a well-known figure in town. So let's jump to the 40s. He got home after CC, and he did enlist in the military.
And because of various reasons, he was not shipped overseas, but he ended up at Paris Island in Carolina, I believe. And so he did his service there. He was honorably discharged. But even when he was in the service, his forte was doing what he would call gags, caricatures of all his friends, of the situation he was in the military. So oddly enough, on his discharge paper, on the back of the discharge paper, we see a cartoon. And fortunately for us, Frank never threw away anything. So we have every bit of his life on paper. And so we say we have 5,000 pieces of this fine artwork. We have double that of what he was going to become. He was going to become a cartoonist. It fit. And a little known fact, remember the Murray Dance Studios? Little known fact is Murray also ran art schools. And Frank didn't necessarily have to go to learn how to do art. He wanted to go on the GI Bill, get his subsistence check, and so that was a means of supporting himself. So Frank was going to become a cartoonist. And a cartoonist he did. If you look at his work, you'll always see something. Always. Even in the strictest piece, you're going to find that little bit of humor. He always had that little bit of humor. And so we have reams and reams and reams of his sketches and drawings and thoughts, all on paper. What a wonderful thing that it was never been lost. And so he was doing well. He was learning his craft, and then the 50s came along. And one of the biggest things were trade magazines. If you were in the oil industry, or if you were in dentistry or retail or any industry, always had these trade magazines, and they would love to have these little, what we would call gags in them. Good Humor, you may remember that. And so you could see, he would send off a rough draft to Good Humor, and they'd send it back saying, Frank, give us more girly stuff, like you used to do. So Frank would listen. And again, we see the religious undertones from his brothers. So Frank would send in a rough, they'd send it back and say, can you ink this up for us? We like it. And for that, he would receive approximately $5 per gag. And you could see, now we start going into the journals. And not only do we have the drawing, we have the letters from the journals. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Medical journals, agricultural journals, retail journals. And at $5 each, he was doing okay. In 1950s money, he was doing fine. So living with his mom, so he didn't have a lot of expenses, but I think he was actually even helping out at home, just being a presence at home, because the rest of the family was out doing their religious duties, and they had a brother that was a butcher, and the sisters had their hair shops. And so you could see a cartoon to shelve for $10. And the 60s, the 50s went along swimmingly for him. He was happy as a clam being at home doing these gags. How about we pool our resources? Here, United Mine Workers Journal. I see the boss is running an ad for another miner. Where's he going to put them? And Colliers, you could see, are very, very good companies. Bell Telephones. And then we start to get to the late 50s, the early 60s. And people weren't so much interested in gags. They wanted to see photographs. They wanted to see drafted graphics, properly drafted graphics, not just gags. And so he would, at that point, he would start getting rejection letters. And here you could see his frustration. Sorry, can't use. Bell System decided, well, we're not doing this anymore. Saturday Evening Post, not using that kind of material anymore. And so Frank saw the writing on the wall. He didn't know what a computer was, but he knew it was out there and it was stealing his livelihood. And here it says, I want to place an instrument-to-instrument call. Didn't know it was called computer, but he saw the writing on the wall. I don't know how many of you remember this, but I do. When you would go in to, say, a mall, they had these photo booths, but the photo booth wouldn't print out the little strip of images. They would give you an 8x10 dot matrix print of your photograph. And so he saw that. Now, remember the four brothers. Father Walter is a big proponent of pro and con lists. And so he got together with Frank and the brothers and he did a pro and con. Frank, what are we going to do? There's no expansion because the market's not there. Your full potential's not being met. The pro list, well, what are we going to do? We're going to put a sign out front of the homestead that you're a sculptor, a painter, a cartoonist. You're going to do lithographs. You're going to start painting, Frank. You're going to start painting. And so Frank said, all right, I'm going to be a painter. And again, always remember this, no patience, no money. So what he discovered is he could go around and find in the garbage, people's trash, paint cans with leftover house paints. And he would take burlap, stretch it on a rough hewn stretcher, white lead paint as the gesso. And then he would begin to paint using these found materials. And paint he did. And so these earlier pieces, you notice he's got the full name, Frank Wysoczenski. And he thought, well, I gotta sort of jazz it up a little bit. So at that point, he said, Wiseau. And thus he coined the term Wiseau. But you can see he's building his skills to a great degree. You will never find a piece in oil because, again, no patience. Oil takes time to dry. So he used latex or tempera because it would dry under his hand. And so this is where I have to divert the story a little. How did I get involved in this? This was, I'd say, very early 90s. Remember, Frank died in 94. And my sisters knew of Frank through other artists that were their friends up in that area. Tony Garcia, a very well-known national photographer. And he introduced my sisters to Wiseau. And my sisters at that point, I've only had one job my whole career, and that was at Lehigh University as a media specialist. And this is the early days, the very early days of video. And my sister said, Stephen, and I'm also an artist. I do paintings, I do sculptures. And my sister said, Stephen, would you mind coming up? I was in Bethlehem at the time, and again, this is up in Oliphant, northeastern Pennsylvania. Would you mind if we could get him to befriend you? Frank, again, was a loner. As transparent a person as you've ever met. If he liked you, you knew it. If he didn't like you, you knew it. And for some reason, being Czech, he was Ukrainian, and he had a relationship with my sisters that they'd go up and buy a painting for, $50 or something, and that made him happy. And so he allowed me into his life. And so I spent a couple long weekends up there creating this documentary. We were going to put it on local channel 44 PBS and try to get him at least some kind of recognition. And so I made the documentary. So he died in 94. Let's spin forward to 2000 and 2003. I get a phone call from Father Walter. He says, Stephen, we're going through Frank's belongings because at that point the house was empty. It was filled to its architectural constraints with artwork, and that's what the documentary is about. Frank would stack, if he'd find frames, or fathers would frame them, or he'd make frames and stack paintings against the wall. He created, as outsiders do, his grand museum for himself. And that's what made him happy. So here's a little segment of that video that shows Frank just how he created.
This stuff here, I work like a camera. You make a negative and I develop it. Then these are mushrooms. I use razor blades. See the mushrooms? Yeah, see? Now I get an old salt, they call it ballpoint, so there's no time to come on off, it's already dead. So I dip it in ink and I'll pounce that. Get to that. Where are they go? I could try to use it. Like that. The old, ballpoint, shelf pen. See? I'll bring that out. It doesn't come out, you just buff it in with the background. See that?
And so we didn't know what to call it. And the Italians call it scriptito, which is layering and scratching. This is Frank, with his beloved box of crayons. And what's interesting, he worked in the basement of his mom's house, in a hand-dug basement that when you stood up, you had to walk like this through it. And he painted it as a Mexican hacienda. All the walls, all around, were painted as a Mexican hacienda. And that's where he spent his time. His whole life, actually. And so he became Lyso, the painter. And you could see Father John, dear Mr. Wyscotensi, we bought a painting for you. And he took it to a grand scale. He developed the skill and the technique that is actually unique to this world to this day. He is an American master. And so the fathers were well behind him. They saw his talent, and they understood, but remember, Frank didn't drive. So how's he gonna get to the potter's house? In, I believe this was Washington, D.C. Well, fathers would pack up his artwork, find a show for him, bring all the artwork, bring Frank, and Frank would have these shows in Washington, in New York, Lynn Kotler Gallery, the hottest gallery of the 70s, in New York City. They got him shows, and he would go to the shows, and he would sell work at these shows for now good money, $100, $200, $300 for him, which was very good. And he liked it. You can't imagine You think, well, did this man grow up, when he was doing art, did he go through a flower period or a minor period or a seascape period or a nude period? No. He woke up with a roulette wheel on his head every morning. And he spun that roulette wheel and he dropped the ball down and it would go. Today I do cowboys. And so he was exploring his craft and doing very well. And this is where he said, okay, I love painting. I'm going to try sculpting, right? But again, remember, no patience, no money. So he says, well, how can I make this work? He discovered that if he could mix toilet paper and latex paint, almost like a paper mache, but as you could see, entirely different. And so here it was back then. He showed us just how he does it.
Look here. The cardboard, pieces of cardboard, take little pieces here and make a collar and tape it down with masking tape and build out like this. And head onto the collar here. Build up the collar here. And then make a paste. Have to make a paste out of tissue paper with black latex paint. Make a paste with that and then apply it onto the form. And it hardens. It hardens like a rock. Some people say like paper mache. I said, no, paper mache is altogether different. And I brush it with the aluminum figure of the metallic pukin look. Gives it a nice patina. Sometimes I make a mixture of copper paint with silver and give it a bronze. And then a bronze fit. That's an old mug. This body here, I built it with this piece of wood. You know, sort of make the arms and this monk kneeling down. He'll be kneeling down. Pray.
So if Frank did one thing, he did hundreds. And so he proceeded, still painting, but proceeded to fill up the basement, fill up the attic with sculptures. Again, not having a plan of selling them or showing them, he just needed to be. And so he's pretty much still going along swimmingly. Here, Governor Scranton actually bought a piece from him.
Yo, King Hazy.
And then the 70s happened. Frank is still going along and sculpting and painting and showing. Ralph Nair. Everybody knows Ralph Nair, whether you do or don't, but he wrote the Bible, the Artist's Handbook. And Frank wrote to him, asking about what he should do about archival qualities for what he's doing. If you look at all of these, you would be amazed to find that's the backside of a calendar. Or anything he could find that had a little bit of weight to it to draw on. And as an archivist, some of his, let's call it interesting, he would take a window shade, cut the window shade off and draw on it. I mean, anything he could find this man created art out of. And so Ralph Morey wrote back, you know, Frank, if you're going to use house paint, at least get the very best you can, Sherwin-Williams or... And so Frank is becoming a true American master, using house paint. And you can see he's still going along, but there's more to this story. Frank was his own worst enemy, as a lot of artists tend to be. So he's still drawing and getting great. Harlan Lang, one of the biggest promoters of art in the 70s, found Frank. Got him great shows. Omnia, another great gallery in New York City, just off of Fifth Avenue. And so Frank is showing, and now he's got collectors wearing a path to his door. So what happened? Why doesn't anybody hear of Weissel? And so, I mean, this is communications between him and his dealers and the galleries. But an interesting thing started to happen. Frank's personality took hold of him. And it started to come out in a big way as a very rough, gruff, didn't want to deal with the world personality. And so every bridge these fathers built, Frank burned down. Here was a show we had out in the West, and he labeled the gallery owner from a university bastard of the art world. He didn't like that. But Frank didn't care. Thanks, Frank. And so he's still going along. And then his collectors, Bob Boyle, another great collector, him wearing a path to his door, was buying work. And he says, I'm going to make you my biggest artist, biggest collector of your art, Frank. Frank burned that bridge. When I left your house this past weekend, I had decided that I would forget you as an artist. Burned a bridge. Every bridge the fathers built, he burned. The Hahn Gallery, remember? Bob Boyle got him in there. I assure you, with your attitude and arrogance, we will gladly give this opportunity to another gallery or agent. Now, you have to understand, as an artist, as many artists fall, they begin to drink and have other issues. And that's what happened to Frank. Because remember the fathers that were building all these bridges and just watching Frank take a match to them? They were at the height of their careers as priests. And they decided, Frank, we can no longer help you because there's no point to it. So the fathers kind of stepped back and pulled back. And as a result, Frank, remember, no car, no transportation, no way of getting around. He retreated to Scranton. And the local, very local, Moscow, Scranton, very localized area around his home. And he was still painting and showing and winning awards, award after award after award. They're all local. Jack Savitsky, let's remember that. We're going to revisit that. So Frank is, again, looking in the mid-80s, 10 years before his death. But unfortunately, Frank is stuck locally. The fathers are going on with their lives, and Frank is still going along, and now we're getting to later years. And Frank is still showing and selling locally, not for the high command prices that he would have gotten in New York, but locally. Yeah, that's right. And this is one of the last photographs that my brother-in-law took of Frank shortly before his death, very shortly before his death. And so in September, Frank died of 94, leaving behind a house filled with artwork. There was nobody there, the fathers were off, so they basically shuttered the house with all the artwork in it, stacked floor to ceiling. And they had a brother-in-law who lived across the street that would come over, and it still had a coal stoker in it, so he'd put some coal in the furnace, walk around, make sure that the roof wasn't leaking. And so it sat that way for 10 years. Oh, remember Father Walter and his pro and con lists. Father Walter is going through this house and not understanding what to make out of it, what to do with it. And he found that videotape with my name on it. So it was actually, and he called Stephen Lechak, which happened to be my dad, who lived locally. I said that, called my dad, and I said, no, you want to talk to my son. And so he would call every year, and he would say, Stephen, we found this tape with your name on it, and we saw you tried to help Frank. Can you help us? And I said, no, Father, I'm sorry. I'm an artist. I'm not a promoter. Yeah, that's okay, Stephen. We'll pray for you. So that went on for several years. And Father Walter is just going through the list, trying to make sense out of what was in that homestead. And so in 2005, Father Walter called me and he said, did you think about what we asked? And I said, yes, Father, and I'm going to help you. It took 3 or 4 years. And the reason was, I'd always been a fine art photographer at Lehigh University, and I knew what it was to shoot film, make it properly exposed, no glare on the glass, it's not scratched, it's not crooked. But in 2005 was the beginning of the digital revolution for photography. And so I went up to the homestead and I set up a high-tech studio, polarized lights, polarized lenses, computer. Hit the space bar, it takes the photo, you look at it and say, that's good. Gave it a number, and I built floor-to-rack ceilings in every room. And not knowing what to do with it, engineering. Do what you do, but do it the best. And that's what I did. I started at the littlest piece, number 1, and I just went through. Every piece would either get put between Tyvek paper, because that's all I could afford, or put on a rack with a number on it, and I started to go through, not knowing what I was going to do to it. But the understanding was I was going to do this work, which took probably about 1.5 years of me traveling from Bethlehem to Oliphant every weekend, spending time cataloging, building racks. And the understanding I was supposed to get a number of works, a percentage of the work in exchange for finding an institution, right? Look at this work. Not a hard time finding an institution that would take that. So I went to anyone that was anyone, and they said, well, you know, it's beautiful work, but does it come with an endowment? Couldn't give it away. So with that in mind, this is what it looked like. This is what every room looked like. As I was cataloging and photographing, still not knowing what I was going to do with this. But at least it was off the floor, right? Had a number. So the fathers say, Stephen, this is a worldly matter. We're spiritual people. we don't want to make money on our brother's toils. And we don't want you to either. So what do you do with information like that? We decided we are going to create a nonprofit foundation. And by the seat of our pants, Nancy and I, we created a nonprofit foundation. And we had our first show. And it was incredibly accepted, bringing values that I was floored, stunned, because we had some good help. The first show, again, I was always at Lehigh doing fine art projects, video projects, and with Ricardo Villar, a very good friend and colleague. And so it was during, if you know the Outsider Art Fair that happens every January in New York, I said, Ricardo, look at this, take a couple of these pieces, look at them, tell me what you think. Is this something I can do? Is this something I should do? And Ricardo said, well, let me take this to the fair. We'll show it around and see what people think. And he came back and he said, Stephen, this is not only something you should do, we're going to help you. And with that, I got a foot up, meeting all the greatest gallery owners, Phyllis Kind and Henry Boxer, who started in the 70s in Chicago, the outsider art movement, became allies and friends. And so we started to create shows, and the shows were going beautifully. And we were still showing locally wherever we could, because it was a motion. We had to get a motion going. And so we would have shows at Lehigh University. And it caught the attention of somebody, Lee Kogan, who's director of regionalism at the Folk Art Museum in New York. She attended the show. And she said that for this to be successful, you have to have this local movement going. So we started to do that. We started to have shows everywhere that we could find. A simple show for a few days in Northumberland County, the coal regions. We took all the work back to the coal regions where people would appreciate it. And there's a little interesting thing that happened there. It was during those, remember the Cute Creek and Sago mine disasters that happened? That was horrible for the coal industry. Al Skinner, the director of Coal People magazine, which again is the coal industry magazine, had a local boy up in Schuylkill County, Jim Stevens, and he called Jim and said, Jim, multi-spread interpage articles. And another interesting, this chain of events, I get a call from Oliphant, from Gene Turco. He said, Steve, we're thinking of creating a monument, not to Wiseau, but to the miners in this area. And we know that you're handling Wiseaus. Would you mind coming and presenting the town with a bunch of, these are called maquettes. And Frank always knew that. These were designed to be bronzes. Some monumental, some bronzes, but bronze nonetheless. And so I went up and I presented the town with the maquettes, and they selected him. And I'm thinking, it's gonna take these guys, you have a town of 5,300 people, years to raise that kind of money. I hear some early sketches of it. He didn't throw anything away. I got home that weekend, that Monday, and I got a phone call from Gene Turco. He said, Stephen, you better find a foundry. And so then I became a sculptor, a monumental sculptor, which I had never imagined. And it's a wonderful thing. Down in, just outside of Trenton, you've probably heard of him, the Sculpture Grounds of New Jersey, Johnson Atelier. Used to be a teaching school. But shortly before this time, they closed the teaching school. They still had the teachers. And so we rented a space in Johnson Atelier, and the teachers were still there, and they took me under their wing, and they taught me how to make a monumental sculpture. And a quick side story, I'm not going to go into details, everybody knows the lost wax process. But an interesting thing, it used to be you would have to loft up a sculpture using armatures and chicken wire. Now what they do is they take styrofoam blocks as big as refrigerators. And they have a 5-axis milling machine. And it just mills out this rough form in styrofoam. And then you take the styrofoam and you coat it with about an inch of sculpting clay. You melt it, brush it on until it's really thick. And that's where you work into it with your tools and give it the detail. A monumental sculpture is put together and taken apart 3 times in its life. The first time is when they take all these blocks, pieces of styrofoam, put them together, and they check it out, you make the form. Second time is after you sculpt it, it gets all cut up again. Because a bronze is never solid, it's only about 2 inches thick. And so you make a latex mold, you cut all the logical pieces from it, cut it apart, make a latex mold, pour the wax in, swirl the wax till it's about that thick, and then you put it back together to make sure it still looks like what you expected. So this is the wax, solid, basically a hollow wax form, held together. And it gets cut apart again, and you put it in the foundry clay, and you melt it out, and you have the hollow that you pour the bronze into. And voila, he sits on the Lackawanna River overlooking his hometown of Oliphant.
Well, coal mining is a major part of this area's history, and today coal workers from one part of Lackawanna County were remembered forever. This new monument was unveiled today in Oliphant, Lackawanna County. Members of the Oliphant Coal Miners Association wanted to honor the spirit of those hard workers who shaped their communities. The bronze statue of a miner was created by a local artist. It sits along the levee in memory of all the miners of the Mid-Valley.
We thought if we put this monument up now, the future generation, like my grandson here with me, will know all about the sacrifices and the hardships the miners before us, our grandparents and our parents, endured over the years working in the coal mines of northeastern Pennsylvania.
The dedication ceremony included songs from that era and lots of folks who are proud of their heritage here in Lackawanna County.
And so everybody that donated to the sculpture got their name, and you all know these local hometown books. Other things started to happen. Harrisburg Museum, State Museum in Harrisburg, decided they were going to take artists, a select number of artists in Pennsylvania, put their work on a bus, and travel that bus around to the more lesser served regions. And so the children would observe these paintings and write back to the artists or the foundations of just what they found. And again, we were still creating, trying to follow Lee Cogan's grassroots effort. So we thought, let's put a mining sculpture show in the bottom of a coal mine. Pro note, never, ever do that. Because subsequently, during that time, the mine flooded. We couldn't get in for over a month until we finally got down there. But they were fine. They were up, off the floors. But we had a sculpture show in the coal mine. And it's stunning, except for the flooding part. Annie Oppenheimer of the Folk Art Museum discovered us. And she invited us to become one of their permanent artists listed in their registry at the Folk Art Museum. And remember, Jack Savitsky, Justin McCarthy, 2 local artists. Justin McCarthy was from Waverly, Jack Savitsky was from Tamaqua. And this guy, Sterling Strasser, I think if you know outsider art, you know Sterling, and his wife Dorothy. Again, every museum in the world they are in. So what happened? Sterling was in Stroudsburg. Justin McCarthy was showing in Stroudsburg. Jack Savitsky was showing in Stroudsburg. And Sterling saw them and said, I'm gonna make you and you famous. The simple fact that Frank never showed in Stroudsburg got him out of that loop. So as a result, you see Jack Savitsky and Justin McCarthy in every major collection in the world. Tom Chalet was, again, a fine art photographer. I don't know if there was something in the water up there, but all around Frank, there's all these great photographers. Tony Garcia, one of them. Tom Chalet shot everybody who was anybody. Presidents and actors and singers and in every fine art collection. Tom was his neighbor. And he had a flood in his basement. So how's that a their story? His wife Santa's going through the archives and she finds a big box of negatives and audio cassette tapes. She says, who's Frank Wysoczenski? And he said, oh, he's an artist. As a kid, was my neighbor, and I found interest in him, so I took all these photographs and audio tapes, because that was even before video. And so Santa calls me and she looks up on the internet and says, Tom, do you know there's a foundation built around Wiseau, and he's here in Bethlehem where we live? So they call, and Tom and I got together, and Olympus has a very cool video competition where you just multimedia create. And so what we did is we created this video of the sax man, and one of the rarest things of actually Frank creating from beginning to end the sax man.
They don't understand, right? They don't appreciate what you're doing. They probably don't understand what you're doing. So you just kind of visualize this, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I get. It's going to get that wrong speed. Yeah.
So how do you work from? It's just that one little sketch, right?
Yeah, this is a sketch here.
As you work, you change your mind occasionally, like you keep changing as you go along. New idea pops in your head, and new. Yeah, in other words, you don't follow your drawing exactly.
Well, she's going to stuff like you have there.
Right.
You know? You can leave it on paper, first thing you know, you get started, you go on, you change it, I said, what the hell, I said, but now we're at the commercial store, buy this stuff, well, what is it? You're creating, you make it out of, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's what I like about you. You just pick up objects that most people would throw away.
What the hell, what do you want a lizard down there by a stinking, what do you call it, armature?
How much do they charge?
I don't know, sometimes and this is, I pick up these curtain rods, people throw, all my sisters give me these curtain rods. A little bit foil there, giving it a buy some, and his sister was saying, a lot of stuff, they pick the stuff in the garbage, people throw stuff out. You know,
Well, that's what I like about
it doesn't have to be moved, you don't know who's going to be thrown out.
That's what I like about your style. You utilize materials that most people
It's not like a brutal Jesus or something, so what the hell is the budget? The Apex paint.
You discovered that yourself, right?
Yeah, that's great.
And how'd you come about discovering that by mixing toilet paper with paste that you could,
I just seen the toilet paper dissolves.
Right.
The toilet paper dissolves in the water, I figured you know, put it in the latex paint, make a paste out of it.
But what makes you think about putting in latex paint?
Well, that the liquid was pasty.
And when it dries, it's hard.
Right. And it was right up against the floor. Well, you see the action, I got the saxophone tilted. See the daughter, you know, the current daughter, the same motion as the saxophone. Right. I got sax, right?
What's going on now?
Right?
What's going on now? Right, you have to put your hands. You just hold them up like this in the light. Alright? Now you take them and show your hands on each other.
Honestly, if we ever meet, you don't want the beef. Undefeated, under armor, carry heat. Under fleece, Freddy Krueger in your dreams. Vampires don't sleep, snatch you out your fucking Yeezys. You ain't getting no Z's, just nosebleeds. I'm an old beast, you just obese. Like some old yeast, smelling moldy. Like some goat cheese, dreadhead with the goatee. Pull holes in, put holes in. Check on the side of your neck, watch as it drip dry. You die in the death, and I look you in your eyes as a sign of respect. 9 lives like a feline, died on the next mate. I suggest make his bed, lay him to rest, may be the best. Better bet there's always someone better. So I sever several heads, causing terror. 777, yeah, venom in his dark era. Blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat. These niggas try to mimic, they ain't trapping how I'm living. Still got a backpack trying to make me $1 million, but you niggas got me living. Now I'm thinking about killing for the thrill, self-medicate, trying to numb the feelings, but the pressure keeps building. Me about to reach the ceiling, bitch, get a cream feeling when I'm packing with my semen. Think I'm talking to myself, I'm really rapping with my demons. Clap you for no reason, I don't need a reason. Keep you bleeding like a hemophiliac. Watch how he reacts when he do the math. Russian roulette with an automatic, fully loaded mag. Don't stray from the past, straight bullets don't lag. And it's hard to get away when you let your pants sag. You a bitch and a fag, you a snitch and a rat. Tell nigga that's the bat, and I beat you with that. I'ma keep swinging till I hear your bones crack. And begging for mercy only gon' make me laugh. Blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat. Trap house appetite. Blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat. Honestly, if we ever meet, you don't want the beef. Undefeated, under armor, carry heat. Under fleece, Freddy Krueger in your dreams. Vampires don't sleep, snatch you out your fucking Yeezys. You ain't getting no Z's, just nosebleeds. I'm an old beast, you just obese. Like some old yeast, smelling moldy. Like some goat cheese, dreadhead with the goatee. Pull holes in, put holes in. Check on the side of your neck, watch as it drip dry. You die in the death, and I look you in your eyes as a sign of respect. 9 lives like a feline, died on the next mate. I suggest make his bed, lay him to rest, may be the best. Better bet there's always someone better. So I sever several heads, causing terror. 777, yeah, venom in his dark era. Blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, try to mimic, they ain't trapping how I'm living. Still got a backpack trying to make me a million, but you niggas got me living. Now I'm thinking about killing for the thrill, self-medicate, trying to numb the feelings, but the pressure keeps building. Me about to reach the ceiling, bitch, get a cream feeling when I'm back up with my semen. Think I'm talking to myself, I'm really rapping with my demons. Clap you for no reason. I don't need a reason. Keep you bleeding like a hemophiliac. Watch how he react when he do the math. Russian roulette with an automatic, fully loaded mag. Don't stray from the past, straight bullets don't lag, and it's hard to get away when you let your pants sag. You a bitch and a fag, you a snitch and a rat. Tell nigga pass the bat, and I beat you with that. I'ma keep swinging till I hear your bones crack, and begging for mercy only gon' make me laugh. Blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my.
Alright, I keep forgetting I need another charger in here. This stuff is about to die. Damn it. Oh. But this charger is okay. Damn. Well, hold on, then where is
It touches the orb, it just crashes. Crashes.
Ain't that just giving y'all dope vibes? Did you see how it was like changing forms and changing shapes? Y'all seen the movie Nope, right? You remember when the UFO was eating motherfuckers? Remember how they said it was a real entity in the being? Out of all the ways to go, not like that either.
Nah, y'all, something really funky is going on right now. It has me so dysregulated. Let's talk about that. Do you know that in 1961, there was a plane crash? Do you know that it was with, I lived near Ashburn, Virginia at a point, right? There, that is exactly where the skating club, one of the skating clubs was. In 1961, they lost all their members in a plane crash as the plane was landing in Belgium. Okay, you know what else happened in 1961? LA wildfires. Now last week, Spirit never guides me anywhere in accident. Last week we were talking about planets because of planetary alignment, but specifically I was talking about Saturn. And people keep thinking it's about Satan. No, it's not. It's about fucking a time loop that we are stuck in, a karmic time loop. Now, 2 years ago, Spirit gave me a riddle, downloaded a riddle in my head that I didn't understand. The 7 rings of Jupiter make the men more stupider. I thought they were talking about when we released these rings that I didn't even...
What the fuck is she even talking about? This doesn't make any sense. I hate people who talk like this.
...and think we're on Jupiter. I thought they were talking about something spiritual, that it was going to daze the men in control. We were going to be able to take back control of something. That's not what it meant. It meant that they bound our internal Jupiter. I told you guys, I went viral for that video talking about planets are inside of us. They're not outside, right? And I'm going to tell you what I think the binding is, the way you guys understand the chakras. You only understand it through these 7 very limited ways that you can bring energy in. You only understand the world through your 5 senses. You only understand the world through 3 or 4 dimensions. You understand everything in such a limited, flippant way. Our Jupiter has been bound. Our ability to expand past what they have programmed us with has been bound. And worse, because we're bound here, we keep reliving the same bullshit over and over and over. Tell me it's a coincidence that these 2 major things happened in 1961 and these 2 major things also happened in 2025, and it's January. That's not a coincidence, you guys. This is their dark magic. And it's time for us to break this fucking spell.
Bitch, what is
Every single emoji?
Yeah.
Yo, literally, I think
that made no sense at all. At all. And if someone feels like they understand that, you're fucking crazy. Now I know they say geniuses seems like a genius would seem insane to a person who's not a genius. You know? But sometimes, motherfuckers are just crazy. Sometimes motherfuckers just crazy. This bitch said the spirit, some kind of spirit downloaded a message in her saying Jupiter make men stupider. What the fuck, bitch? Calm your happy ass down. Sound like you out your rabbit ass mind right now. The rings of Jupiter make men more stupid. No.
the original 72 emojis that they created for the Windows PC, Mac, iOS, everything.
Yeah.
Those emojis, they're secretly demonic sigils.
Oh, really?
So, do you ever hear about the Lesser, I think it's called the Lesser Book of Solomon?
No, I haven't.
So there's this book, you know King Solomon in the Bible?
Yeah.
He's the one that was able to tame every single demon.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote a book, and in the book, he wrote these sigils which would control, but also summon certain demons.
What the heck?
And guess how many there were? 72 exactly. So secretly, every single emoji fam is actually a demonic sigil to summon a demon. Check this out.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah. So every single emoji.
Like even a laughing emoji?
Every single emoji. Look at this.
Whoa.
So you see that? The X is on the eyes. You see this?
Oh, it's like recreated, but this is his actual thing.
Now check this out. Boom. Remember the smoke one? Yeah, yo, it's not even like by accident. Because this shit could feel like an accident, but look. You telling me that's an accident?
Oh,
you telling me this is an accident?
No, that one.
The crying emoji with the tears and it makes the exact sigil? Come on.
No.
Stop playing. That's real. Look. Look at this one.
Real.
With the teeth? Yo, it's not a game.
Yo.
This shit is real.
So like the original 72 heroes were just drawn out.
It's all the same, fam. Look, with the eyes, the glasses, with the teeth. Look, you see the two? The teeth. Yeah, fam. This is not a game, bro.
Shit, bro.
Yo, red alert.
Yeah,
Like, yo, that has red alert. Why are we allowing this? The zipper? Down to the zipper fucking emoji, bro. That's wild.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So this whole time, us sending emojis may have been summoning demons. That's fucked up.
No, don't put it like that.
So what is it for then? So what is it for?
To make the sentence more emotional.
No, but why did they do that?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
So I just got a question then. So, what is the eggplant emoji? What demon is that shit summoning?
By 2025, the sun will begin to transmit a series of solar flares that will bring the Earth's climate to a point where if you are not properly, naturally melanated, you will not be able to go outside more than 15 minutes without high-powered special creams and special suits. The UV radiation of the sun will be harmful to all unnatural bacteria on this planet. This is known as the Year of the Nine, foretold by ancient Kemetic legend, where the sun gods will return. Study, for the more you study, the more options you will have. And the more options definitely means the more power.
What is this?
Swing.
Read, by the way. Wait, read BTWM?
Swing.
Oh yeah, read between the lines. What the fuck? Read between the lines.
Yeah, that same fuck you.
Fuck my vocabulary studio. It says read between the lines. Onto me L. Bomb, baby. Got him.
Whoa.
Read between the lines.
How are they doing that? Read between the lines.
Oh, the lies.
Lies.
Read between the lines. What the? Oh, shit. Hell no.
What else? The hashtag.
Hashtag. Whoa. Hashtag.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist. Sorry, what mission?
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God. Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less? He's your guy?
You're the best at moving things and people in places they shouldn't be.
We go towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Maybe we should make it quick.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst were left here. We put ourselves in a place we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
What the hell are those?
They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
Get the mattress of your dreams hassle-free. Ashley Sleep delivers incredible comfort and convenience right to your door. And easy setup means you could be enjoying more restful sleep the very same night. Shop Ashley Sleep today, exclusively at Ashley.
You got a new Jurassic Park movie coming out? That's crazy.
Yeah, paradise. Yep. Hashtag paradise, yep. Paradise of Hulu, that's crazy.
You can't make this shit up. Just had to evacuate the plane because the tire blew as we took off. This is a United flight. We are on a fucking runway.
So I seen you guys run up those numbers from the moon video from last night. Well, this one over here, you're going to run this up even more, y'all. This is what the moon looked like, y'all. And guess from where? Philadelphia, where that incident happened. Check this video out. This gets crazy, y'all. So he starts recording the moon and notices this, y'all. Check this out. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Did y'all? Look at the, why is it doing that? Do y'all see that? It's like flashing, it's pulsing, like an EMP, right? Morse code, it's gonna get crazy, y'all. Check this out, look, keep looking.
Yo, that was decent. Look, watch you do it again. I ain't doing this, y'all.
What is going on?
I'm not doing it.
Why is it doing that? Y'all, it's gonna intensify. Keep watching, keep watching.
Look at this. Look at it. Stop it to me.
Yo, I'm just flabbergasted. What is this? Why is it doing that? Now he's gonna zoom out and zoom back in. Watch this. This is where the magic happens, y'all. It's even doing it from afar, y'all. Watch this.
I see what that moon is doing, bro.
Just a regular camera phone. Look, wow. Look at the X's. Y'all see that? It's like pulsating X's. It's sending. You guys know how we're sending from 3D to 5D, right?
South in Hawaii. Now, if that same level event was to happen again, satellites, cell phones, GPS, electric cars, and the internet would no longer work. Pipelines that carry oil and gas would also be corroded, and electrical grids all across the world would be crippled.
I'm documenting you. What you doing here? What is your business? Look at this shit. I ain't never seen that shit out here now. block down. What are they doing here? What Homeland Security Emergency Management Agency? I ain't never heard of that. HSEMA. And he's stuck. They about to let somebody off the back. Y'all, if this don't look like a purge trap, I don't know what the fuck is. It's motherfuckers in there.
Sidney Gottlieb to spray germs into the fog in San Francisco Harbor. The point was to try to infect 800,000 people in San Francisco with this germ just to see how many would get sick.
Yes, this is true, and to a lot of you, this should seem very familiar. In 1950, crew members of a U.S. Navy ship spent 6 days spraying a type of germ about 2 miles off of the California coast. Its aim was to determine the susceptibility of a big city like San Francisco to a potential bioweapon terrorist attack. In the following days, the military took samples and found that not only did it infect San Francisco, but also many of the surrounding areas. And when this happened, not a single person was made aware. Now, if you still aren't connecting the dots as to what I'm trying to say here, here is a patent that was made in 1920 for the production of intense artificial clouds, fogs, or mists. You can look all of this up yourself. I will put the patent number right here. I don't know about you, but this stuff is getting scarier and scarier, and I make sure to have something for myself and my family to be detoxing and supporting our bodies.
Look at the dates on these things.
From whatever junk they are trying to spray us with.
Yeah, what's good? Think about taking a break here shortly. Just trying to fill in some of the background pebbles on this piece. Yeah, it's a lot. So just making our way through our first detail layer here this morning. Technically I should be working on other stuff, but I am gonna take a break and check some emails. And be kind of productive. Let me run to the bathroom real quick.
Look at it.
If y'all believe that one when she got sucked through that portal, you deserve to believe it.
Trap house, knock time. Blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat. Honestly, if we ever meet, you don't want the beef. Undefeated, under armor, carry heat. Under fleece, Freddy Krueger. In your dreams, vampires don't sleep. Snatch you out your fucking Yeezys. You ain't getting no Z's, just nosebleeds. I'm an old beast, you just obese. Like some old yeast, smelling moldy. Like some goat cheese, dreadhead with the goatee. Pull holes in, put holes in. Check on the side of your neck. Watch as it drip dry. You die in the death, and I look you in your eyes as a sign of respect. 9 lives like a feline, died on the next mate. I suggest make his bed, lay him to rest, may be the best. Better bet there's always someone better. So I sever several heads, causing terror. 777, yeah, venom in his dark era. Blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the beat, blood on the sand, blood on my feet, blood on my hands, got blood on my teeth, blood on the beat, blood on the beat. These niggas try to mimic, they ain't trapping how I'm living. Still got a backpack trying to make me a million, but you niggas got me living. Now I'm thinking about killing for the thrill, self-medicate, trying to numb the feelings, but the pressure keeps building me. About to reach the ceiling, bitch, get a cream feeling when I'm packing with my semen. Think I'm talking to myself, I'm really rapping with my demons. Clap you for no reason, I don't need a reason. Keep you bleeding like a hemophiliac. Watch how he react when he do the math. Russian roulette with an automatic, fully loaded mag. Don't stray from the past, straight bullets don't lag, and it's hard to get away when you let your pants sag. You a bitch and a fag, you a snitch and a rat. Tell Negan pass the back, and I beat you with that. I'ma keep swinging till I hear your bones crack, and begging for mercy only gon' make me laugh.